Welcome back to my channel, Manicured by Jill. So in my other video, I did a swatch of Paparazzi by Fairy Glamor, and it is stunning. So pretty. So I was going to do another how-to video of how I do my chunky glitters, and I'm just using swatch sticks for this. But I was going to show this video because I feel like a lot of people struggle with applying chunky glitters. They can be very tricky. Once you get the hang of it, it's not bad, but it is a steep learning curve, and it does take time and practice and some patience. So don't give up on it if you really want to master the chunky glitter, because they're so stunning if you can, you know, figure out a way that works for you. So this is another Fairy Glamor color, and this is Jeweled Mermaid. It is so pretty. I can't wait to show you guys. So look at that goodness. So how I apply my chunky glitter, this is my secret weapon, my best friend. So I pour a good half of the jar into a cupcake liner, and then what I do is I do two dips. So the first one is just a thin layer, and then I just dip it into the finer parts. You can see some finely ground little parts that I, dumped from the jar. And then the second layer, I do the chunkier pieces on top. So I'll show you that whole process. So I'm gonna start with a thin layer base coat. Get it nice and thin. And then I'm just gonna dip it flat. You wanna get it nice and flat. And then you're just gonna tap it to get some of that extra off. And then this is what you get. So some of them might be sticking up. So you're just gonna pat them down either with your finger, which is what I do, or you can use like a plastic baggie. Some people do that, like a Ziploc baggie or something. My finger works just fine, so I'm just gonna do that. Some of the glitters might fall off, and that's okay while you're patting them down, no worries. The goal for this first layer is to just get those smaller, finer pieces of glitter on your first layer, so you have a solid foundation of flat surface, so that when you do your second layer, it will have a flat surface to lay on top of. So you won't get as many bumps, and you'll have less buffing to do later on. So this is already like so pretty and sparkly. So I'm really excited about this color. And then once it's dried, which I feel like this is dry, you're just gonna brush off your some of the extra glitter. Like I see a piece sticking up on there. And then just go ahead and brush. Okay, so I brushed off my extra. And now what I'm gonna do, now I wanna get the chunky pieces on top because I'm doing my final layer. So I'm just gonna shake this to get the chunkiest pieces to come to the top, because I don't want those fine glitters anymore. I want the nice pretty chunky pieces on top, because that's what's gonna show up on here. So I've got the biggest pieces up here facing me, so that's what I want. And so I'm gonna do my second dip now. And I'm gonna put a little bit more on my brush, just to have a little bit extra. And again, you still wanna do fairly thin layers, because you don't wanna get clumpy or goopy. So just be mindful of how much liquid you're applying from your brush, because that can really affect your application too. And some of them might come off on your brush. Just make sure you wipe off your brush really well so you don't contaminate it. And then we're gonna dip flat again. So lay it flat and then tap. So get the extra off. And then they're all gonna be sticking up, and that's, what you can expect. And you're just gonna pat down the pieces and remove any that you think are a little, excessive, because you don't want it to be kind of clumping on top of itself. So now is the time to arrange it how you want it. And if you have any like bald spots that don't have any glitter, so let me show you. If you have any bald spots that don't have any glitter, we can always go back and hand place. Like if I really wanted to, I could hand place a chunky piece right here, like the next time. I don't really think I need to, like it doesn't really bother me. I'm pretty happy actually with how this looks, so I think I'm good. So I'm just gonna put a layer of clear on it and then we'll be good to activate. Alright, so I am ready to apply my clear because the clear is going to encapsulate the glitter and it's going to protect it. So when we're buffing, we don't have to worry about ruining this beautiful glitter we have going on. That is a must. So I have my base coat and then I have my clear dip powder right here. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna apply nice thin. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit because I feel like probably a little more helpful for you guys. I'm sorry if the visibility isn't as good. I am still learning YouTube and I'm not really great with technology, so I apologize for any technical difficulties that we may encounter, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna give up. I'm just gonna keep going, and yeah. So I am going to dip right in, tap, and then I'm gonna immediately brush off all the extra, and then I'm gonna add, oh, that piece doesn't want to stay. Well, okay, I'm not gonna force it. If they're not here for the ride, then I'm not gonna force that piece of glitter to stay in my life. So, you know what, that's fine. I don't need that piece of glitter in my life. So I'm adding base on top of this. So I really like this method for encapsulating in clear because it prevents the clear from getting super cloudy. And I don't know, I feel like it works really well. So you can see how clear that is. So I am going to apply one more layer of clear just because this is pretty chunky and I just want to make sure that it's protected. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry for a second and then I'll do one more layer. So you would just literally repeat the exact same process that I did, and then we'll move on to activating. So this is where we're at. I am going to activate this now. So because I encapsulated in clear in a kind of unique way, where I brushed off the extra clear and then I went in with more base, it's probably still tacky even though it's been a couple minutes. So I'm just gonna gently float on the activator, and I'll show you what I mean by floating it on. I'm not going to brush it on like you normally would, like painting it on like nail polish. I'm just gonna kind of put it on there, like kind of like blotting it almost. Like I'm just gonna gently apply it because I don't want to contaminate anything. And then I'm just gonna let it dry for 2 minutes and then we will file and buff. Okay, so it is time to file and buff. So I'm gonna start by filing. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. There isn't really a whole lot of filing or buffing that I need to do because we did the application so well that there really isn't a whole lot. So you also don't have to be afraid of like getting in there because we have the layer of clear protecting our chunky glitter. So you don't have to worry about damaging the glitters because it's protected and it's encapsulated. And you may have seen me on the Facebook group before. I like to post my photos in there. using Fairy Glamors. I am an affiliate with Fairy Glamor, so if you use my discount code, you'll get a discount for 10%, or if you want a better discount, a lot of times they have like 20% off or 30% off on the site. If you ever feel like giving me credit, which you totally don't have to, you can always click my link on my Instagram bio and then make a purchase using your discount code so you can get a better discount. You can get more money off. So I really love that. They always have some kind of cool discount going on. There's some awesome subscription boxes, so I love a good surprise. I don't know about you, but those are always fun. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. And this advice that I'm giving, or should I say my how-to, like how I apply chunky glitter, this isn't just for this brand. You can use this on really any brand. So this is kind of like universal. So yeah, I think this is a really good way to apply dip powder, and if it doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. Everybody has their own technique that works for them, so just do what works for you. And yeah, so we're done. I just need to activate one more time, and then we're gonna top coat and call it a day. So it's nice and smooth from buffing and filing. I actually buffed more than I needed to because I was just gabbing away, but that's all right. I kind of got caught up in my long-winded spiel, I guess, so no worries. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait for this to dry and then we will be ready for top coat. I'm gonna do a couple quick swipes for the first round. Love that. All right, and then I'm gonna wipe off my brush, and then I'll give it a couple seconds, and then I will go in with a more detailed second coat. I'm pretty generous with my top coat with the second one, so I like to put more on my brush for the second time. This is the finished product. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. So don't give up, don't fear the chunkies, and yeah, I hope these tips were helpful, and thank you for watching.